Welcome to the Justin Root Show, the Carnie Wilson interview. Play the Beach Boys or Wilson Phillips, and I am instantly transported back to some great summer memories. Of course, we all know they're classics, but the Beach Boys were a huge part of my childhood, especially on soundtracks. Kokomo from the movie Cocktail, and When I Grow Up was in Look Who's Talking. Then a few years later, Wilson Phillips came onto the scene when I was in middle school, and I took their music so seriously. That was the time of crushes and breakups, and their music was so dramatic, but so powerful. So to have someone who comes from both of those worlds on this show is just exhilarating. I actually met Carnie briefly years ago. You'll learn how in this interview. But to actually sit down and chat with her like this was just way too much fun. She was born right here in LA, raised in Bel-Air and the San Fernando Valley. She and her sister Wendy teamed up with their pal from childbirth, China Phillips, who was the daughter of the Mamas and Papas, John and Michelle Phillips. Together, they formed Wilson Phillips, whose success, it was... I don't even know if people remember just how successful they were. Their first single, Hold On, it finished in the Billboard 1990 top spot at number one, meaning it was the number one song from the entire year. They were just huge, and they continued to make some really great music. They come from music royalty, and in my opinion, they became it themselves. And audiences of the film Bridesmaids thought the same thing because Hold On shot to the top spot again after the film featured an appearance by Wilson Phillips. Spoiler, kind of, not really. But Carnie, she's busier than ever. She seems to always be performing somewhere, and she's the host of her own cooking show, which we talked about. Now, the quality in this interview, it's much better than my last one, but if you watch this on YouTube, you'll notice at the very beginning, which is something I didn't notice when it happened, but Carnie, she pushed her mic out of the way just a tad. So sometimes when she turns away from the mic, she's a little hard to hear. Not only that, but she was just getting over being really sick, so she's a little quieter than normal, but we had just the absolute best time. So here's my interview with the lovely Carnie Wilson. Welcome to the Justin Root Show.
Thank you.
Today, I am so overwhelmed, and I'm trying not to have anxiety because my guest has so many hats that I could talk literally for an hour about each hat that you wear. Producer, host, cook, singer, icon. Please welcome Carnie Wilson.
Thank you. Mom.
And mom and wife, sister.
Yes.
Daughter. I mean, seriously, so many. But I love to go to the beginning because I am a very outspoken fan of Los Angeles still. And you were born and raised here.
Yeah.
Still like it at all? I mean, you have no choice. You have no choice because not only are you raised here, but your mom and your dad were both raised here. And if you're living under a rock, Carnie's mother is a beautiful singer, Marilyn, and your father is a beautiful singer, Brian, of a little band called the Beach Boys.
Of course.
You had no choice.
Yeah.
But
California girl all the way.
you had no choice. It's like intertwined in your DNA.
God, yeah. My mom was born in
Chicago, right?
Yeah. And then they came here when she was like 5 or 6, and they really struggled with money. They had like one pair of shoes each, and lived in a little house right here in Hollywood. And then my mom met my dad when she was 14, and they were married at 16. She was 16.
That was like the same with Priscilla and Elvis, right?
Very young. Yeah.
Just that generation did that.
I think so. I know. It trips me out because I have a 14-year-old, and over my fucking dead body. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I think it was just the times. I mean, he was a musician just starting off, and my grandparents loved him.
Yeah.
And he loved them.
Yeah. Was it annoying having mom and dad drive you around going, and then this is where I did this, and this is where I did that? You're like, shut up. Or did you have an interest in there? Yeah. What? Right?
I don't know. I think I never, because it was so like, it was a weird upbringing with my dad that we were sort of sheltered in a way. Went to a private school in the San Fernando Valley, and with a lot of other famous families, so everybody we were like in this little bubble.
You grew up in Bel-Air,
I
right?
grew up in Bel-Air, yep, but I went to school in the Valley. It's called Oakwood. I never really went like around Dad's area, but we sort of just hung out in Bel-Air or Beverly Hills around there. But then we moved to the Valley when they got divorced.
Oh,
and then
okay.
my whole world opened up when I got to the Valley.
Yeah.
That was really good. I love the Valley. And I
do too.
And I just continue to live there. I can't get myself to get on this side of the hill.
Well, I mean, Bel-Air, you can't, what do you, trick or treat? I mean,
Yeah,
do you
no,
like,
how do you it takes 5 minutes.
Did you
to walk
know
to the
your-
next house?
did you know your neighbors?
Well, our neighbors, oh yeah, they knew us because my father would knock on their door and ask for cigarettes at like 2 a.m. So they got pretty upset. Yeah, we had the Rams owner. I forgot her name. It's a woman, and she was right next door to us. And she started threatening us if that Brian knocks on my door for another cigarette. But the movie 9 to 5 was shot across the street on Bellagio Road, and of course, like lots of famous people lived. Tom Jones was there, and Peter Bogdanovich. That's where I met Barbra Streisand the first time at his house. I went running down the street because I was friends with his daughter. Antonia Bogdanovich. I was so obsessed with Barbra Streisand, and so she said she called me and said she's here, and I ran as fast as I could over to meet. They were doing the main event, and I got to meet her. This is when she had curls in her hair. Yeah.
You were excited for other artists then. So this wasn't like anyone in mom and dad's business, no interest in. Like, 'cause my parents are like real estate and bankers. Like, if they're telling me any of their friends are coming over, knocking on the door, I could not care less. I'm the one daydreaming about moving to Hollywood to meet Barbra Streisand.
understand.
But you're still like interested at this age and like,
Yeah.
I love that.
That was my house. I mean, it was like you never know who's going to show up. I mean, Elton John would come over and play the piano, and I would sneak downstairs, and he reminded me. He's like, "Do you remember I put you back in your crib one night?" I said, "I forgot it," But yeah, it was a trip. Everybody would come over, and I remember when my sister and I had a crush on Sean Cassidy. He was our first crush, and he just showed up one day. Fucking knocked on the door. There he was. I couldn't believe it.
And come on in.
Yeah, Sean Cassidy. And we took pictures of it, and I have the most red cheeks. It's really funny. Completely flush. And that's like Justin Bieber knocking on your door.
Yeah.
Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Coming over randomly. Yeah, but he was working with my dad on a song. So yeah. It wasn't weird to me. It was just normal.
Normal life, yeah. And your dad had a recording studio in that house too, right?
We did have a studio, yeah. This secret door. It looked like a bookcase, and you'd press it, and it would open. There's another wing, and yeah.
This might be a touchy subject. And it's the only question that I'm like kind of nervous to ask because it might be a thing like it was taboo growing up or anything. But did your dad or your uncle, who tragically passed away, Dennis, did they ever talk about Charles Manson coming over? Are you sick of that?
Charles never came over. Charlie was never at the house, but Dennis, we had, I think it was Leslie Von whatever.
Oh, yeah.
One of the girls was there swimming in the pool, and Uncle Dennis was friends with them briefly.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, people who don't understand that, like the hippie era, I feel like everyone was friends with anyone, and you wouldn't have no problem picking up a hitchhiker back then, like that. Those were the times. They were the 60s.
It was, and Dennis was very like kind of wild and had a lot of different friends, and I guess we had a great swimming pool. Our pool was iconic. It was huge and all little individual tiles painted, beautiful pool, and we had a lot of pool parties. So you never know. I mean, Keith Moon came up and with all their clothes on, jumped in the pool with my dad. But just weird shit that happened.
Oh my
But
gosh.
it's cool. I hope that pool's still there because that'd be so sad if it wasn't.
I was going to ask if the house is still there.
The house is still there, but an actress named Jacqueline Bisset, her boyfriend, bought it and then flipped it. I mean, back in the day, it wasn't called flipping, but they just kind of, tore it down and now the driveway is different. But I think the pool is still there. It was really something else.
Wow.
Big pool.
You grew up with China Phillips, who was also the daughter of Michelle and John. And I know that you guys started by just sort of, I think I heard you say somewhere, ripping bongs and high school, learning to meld your voice.
Harmonize.
When did you decide, like, you know what, this is not something fun we could do? We're going to actually transition. We are going to do this as a career. Like, when did it get serious?
Well, it started in junior high for me, just the love of harmony and singing harmony with all my girlfriends, all my friends. And we had this idea to record a song and give the money to charity. It was like rock and roll, kids of rock and roll stars, right? Okay. So we asked a bunch of people, and nobody wanted to do it. Nobody was into it, except for China and Mama Cass's daughter, Owen.
Oh, and she just wrote a book.
She just wrote a book. And so we just kind of like sat on the floor and harmonized, which is what I was used to doing. China had no idea how to sing harmony. So we just was like, oh, you stay in the middle. Wendy, you're on top. I'll be on the bottom. And we just had this sound. And my mom heard it through the floor. She came down and said, what are you guys doing? And we were like, we're singing harmony. And she said, you know how great you sound? Like, you sound really good together. And we said, we do, don't we? And we felt this, we felt it. We could feel it. We could feel the magic. You couldn't explain it. It was like the three voices came together and made one sound. And then China goes, well, I'm going to call my mom because she knows a lot of people. And we talked to this producer who worked with Barbra Streisand, the Pointer Sisters, Carly Simon.
Who?
His name was Richard Perry.
Oh, yeah.
Big music producer. And we said, because he was friends with Michelle. He was also a stoner. So we were just getting wasted. And so we went to his house and he rolled a joint. It was right here in the Hollywood Hills. And we had one thing prepared for him, which was like 5 words from a Stevie Nicks song.
I need to know which one.
It was Wild Heart. And we sang Dare My Wild Heart. And that was all we sang. And we were done. We did a harmony and he goes, that's it? And we said, yeah, that's all we rehearsed. And he goes, I don't care if you sang 2 words. He was really dramatic. I think he was high as a kite, but he said, I see the Beatles. I see, and you should call yourselves Pretzels with Mustard. I'm like, yeah, you're high and you have the munchies, clearly. So anyway, we didn't call ourselves Pretzels with Mustard. Thank God. We almost called ourselves Nirvana. We almost named ourselves Nirvana.
Are you serious?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Nirvana was almost the name.
I hate to ask, but why not the Beach Girls?
Oh, we thought about that. We thought about that.
Did you really?
Of course we did.
Oh my God.
Of course we did.
I love that.
But no, it wasn't it. And then we couldn't think of a name. But anyway, we spent about 4 years writing songs, meeting Glenn Ballard, our collaborator, and he's the one that took it to another level.
Alanis Morissette, Glenn Ballard.
I know.
Wow.
He's done a lot of great. He wrote "Man in the Mirror" with Saida.
That's right,
and Michael.
Yeah.
And he's like the fourth member.
Wow. What made you? I almost said, hold on. That's terrible. What made you hang on for those 4 years? Like, that's where a lot of people, listen, a lot of people might think, right. We have something special here.
Right.
Or we sound great together, but then a year into it, 2 years, nothing's like...
Well, it was...
Or did you feel like it was happening?
Well, it was songwriting. And it was like, we have to gain respect. We need to, this is how we'll be respected. Not just like the daughters of singing. We had to write our songs. So we spent a good 2.5, 3 years writing, and in the studio recording. And then it became like this record company bidding war, which we were very lucky to have that happen. I remember on a Valentine's Day, I had roses everywhere from different record companies. And I remember one card, it said, roses are red, violets are blue. MCA is the home for you. I'll never forget it. And we didn't go with MCA. We went with SBK Records, but it was crazy position to be in. It was like, a dream come true. But we had 4 songs that we recorded and used that to shop the deal. And it was Hold On, Release Me, You're in Love, and Next to You. And those were the 4. And then we built the rest of the record after we signed the deal with Charles Koppelman. Yeah.
How did you sing I think probably my favorite singer, Karen Carpenter. Is
my favorite too.
And you did Reason to Believe.
Yeah.
I love that.
Love.
Yeah,
that was a Charles Koppelman. He passed away, but he was the one that really spearheaded things. And they had a very, very strong opinion about what was on the record. And they wanted us to write 80% of it, which we did, the first record. But he was like, I have a song you guys would be perfect for. And he played it for us. and it was a Tim Hardin song, and then Rod Stewart did it. But yeah, and it was perfect. It was perfect. I love that song.
I think some people might forget that China was like, she was in Some Kind of Wonderful and Say Anything.
Yeah.
And she's like one of your best friends at this time. Was that just so exciting, or was it like, oh, China's going to work, no big deal. I'm in the business. Everyone does movies here and there. Or was it like,
I mean, it's a childhood friend since birth.
yeah,
Since birth. So it was very second nature to be together, but it was more, we were very serious. This was not, we weren't playing around.
God, I love that.
We knew that company was going to put in millions and millions of dollars. I mean, they put in something like $60 million launching it. And, we had a lot of people counting on us. So we were good workers. I don't know how that happened. I mean, I had no education. I just graduated high school and we just jumped right into it, right into the fire. And it was hard. And it was great.
I don't think people realize today how hard it is to actually, even back then, even with millions of dollars behind you or a big recording company, like to actually, the work you have to do to get a song on the radio. I mean, and today you can make a song in your bedroom, and luckily you can get it to all these places with a couple buttons. Not to say it's not.
No, it's totally different.
They have today's musicians have other harder challenges for sure, but you worked your asses off.
Traveled to, everywhere. Australia, Japan, Europe. We were all over the world. And it was like really hard, the promotion. Because back then it was like radio stations and you had to get the ads. In order to get the ads, you had to go and kiss the program director's ass, basically. Yeah. So you'd go and you'd meet them, have lunches and, kiss their butts and be like, please add our record, And luckily they would test it and play it like 3 a.m. And if people liked it, they would start requesting it. So it's the combination of the requests from people and the amount of spins you got. So the ads, the spins, moving up the chart, that's how you got up the charts. And so we were selling like 150,000 records a week and it was insane.
Do you remember hearing any of your songs for the first time on the radio in public? Not like...
In public? I don't remember.
Or like in a car or anything?
In a car, yeah. We were in a van. I think we were in Tennessee and it came on. It was like, we heard that piano. Hold On was the first single and it was like, oh God, it was amazing. We screamed and cried and yeah. And then we were in Japan while Hold On went to #1. We were doing this Tokyo Music Festival and I was screaming. It was 3 a.m. and Charles called me and said, you did it, baby. You guys are #1. And we knocked Vogue out of the #1 spot.
I was going to say, and people need to remember this, it wasn't just a #1 song. It was the #1 song for an entire year. That entire year of 1990, you kicked off an entire decade. Yeah. Not just Vogue, but Nothing Compares to You was up there. Yeah. It Must Have Been Love by Roxette. Yeah. I mean, these songs that we hear
Hold
still...
On by En Vogue.
Another Hold On. That's weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Weird.
That was fun.
Yeah. It had to be confusing.
It was a little confusing. Like, which Hold On?
Did you ever show up anywhere where everyone was expecting En Vogue or vice versa?
Well, we saw each other. I forgot where we were, but we were like, isn't that funny? We got the same song on the charts.
Amazing. It is such a trip.
It's a trip.
Not only were you just chart top, it seemed like one after another. I mean, that was the summer of my life. Like that was just every song after song after song. And I love the balance that you guys have on your albums because it's just sometimes, you're a little bit more forefront or Wendy or China. It was so great.
It was a good balance. I think that was a smart call.
And not only
you have the album?
No.
What is that?
You are a Rolling Stone cover girl.
I have a huge blow up of that.
I'll have it up
bathtub. On It's a huge picture. I take it wherever I go.
Who did this photo?
Andrew Eccles, I think. The fact that I remember is actually twisted.
And that's out for a month. I think it's a monthly magazine, right?
I don't even remember.
For like 30 days. I mean, do you remember like what going in grocery stores? Like, are you like putting it up in front of every other cover or you're too busy?
It was such a whirlwind. Justin, it was crazy. We were everywhere and like all the magazines and it was interview after interview. And it's like, we knew like that was our chance. We had to do everything we could to make the most of it. And I was very, very much the cheerleader. You know what I mean? Everybody enjoyed it and we were all proponents and stuff, but I was very, very into the promotion of it. And it was always me who was like, let's do one more interview, because I believed in it.
And not only did you, all these accolades, but Grammys, Album of the Year.
Right.
Pop duo nominated
for 5 Grammys. Yeah.
Song of the Year,
Billboard,
Best New Artist.
Yeah, we won a Billboard Music Award, and it was
yeah, you didn't win any of those, but a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
And if you would indulge me in a little game, we're gonna play a little game. Do you mind?
Yes, no, I love a game.
No, it's not Who Beat You.
Mariah Carey did.
Oh, I know that. No,
she deserved it. She deserved to win.
You're gonna You're gonna tell me.
I'm excited.
Who won Best New Artist?
Oh, that was Mariah Carey.
No.
Wait, what?
Other years.
Oh.
Yeah, because I want you to know the company you're in.
Okay.
I want you to know the company you're in for not winning.
You're reminding me.
Okay. All right. 1966, Tom Jones or Sonny and Cher?
I'm going to say Tom Jones.
Good job. 70, Led Zeppelin or Crosby, Stills and Nash?
Oh, God. Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I'm 2 for 2.
Elton John or Carpenters?
Oh, that's a hard one. Well, that's not fair. They're my favorites. I'm going with Elton John.
Carpenters won. But see, you and Elton John both lost at Best New Artist. How cool is that?
Whoa.
Go-Go's or Sheena Easton, 1982?
It's probably Sheena Easton, but it should have been the Go-Go's.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sheena.
Yeah. She watches too. She always texts me.
Oh, fuck. Are you serious?
Kidding. 1984, Culture Club or Eurythmics?
Culture Club.
Yes. God, you're so good. This is hard. 95. Counting Crows, Ace of Base, Green Day, or Sheryl Crow?
Oh, God. Is this for Best New Artist?
Yep.
Wait, Counting Crows, Green Day. What is it?
Ace of Base or Sheryl Crow?
It's definitely not Ace of Base. I saw the sun. It's going to be Sheryl Crow.
Yep. Nice.
Love her.
96, Hootie and the Blow Shit? Blow Shit?
Blow shit.
Blow Shit.
Hootie and the Blow Shit.
Hootie and the Blow Shit.
That was great.
Alanis Morissette or Shania Twain?
Oh. Wow. It's either Shania or Alanis. I'm going to go with Alanis.
It was Hootie.
No!
Yes.
That's fucked
It's
up.
really Amy Winehouse or Taylor Swift, 2008.
Oh, Amy.
Amy won, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. And then
Wow.
2014, Ed Sheeran or Macklemore?
Ed.
It was Macklemore.
What?
See? So next time you're like
Wow.
driving and you're like,
Right.
have that PTSD Best New Artist, you could be like,
Yeah, Mariah Carey won over us, but I'll never forget it. Wow.
I know. And I also did Song of the Year,
That's
but I don't know if
amazing.
you want to play that or not. I could do it quickly, but because you were up, hold on. And then the following year, 91 Grammys, you guys were nominated again.
Yes.
Anyway. So you lost Song of the Year, but so did these amazing, amazing songs. A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles or Hello Dolly in 1965. What do you think won Song of the Year?
You found these.
I know.
Which one?
Beatles or Hello Dolly by Louis Armstrong.
I'm going to go with Hello Dolly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. American Pie, one of the biggest songs of all time, or The First Time I Saw Your Face by Roberta Flack.
One of my favorite records of all time.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that one.
It is. It is.
There's nothing like that.
How about 1975, The Way We Were, or I Honestly Love You?
Oh my God. I'm so obsessed with 70s music.
I am too.
I honestly love you.
It was The Way We Were.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh my God. I can't believe I got that wrong.
1978, best song, Hotel California or Evergreen?
Evergreen.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is
I can't.
1979, Just the Way You Are by Billy Joel, Staying Alive by the Bee Gees, You Don't Bring Me Flowers, or Three Times a Lady by Commodores.
I love all these songs so much, but this is not fair. How could
Right?
How could Staying Alive go up against You Never Bring Me Flowers?
Right?
But You Never Bring Me Flowers won.
No.
No?
Nope. Just the Way You Are, Billy Joel.
No. Over Staying Alive?
Yep. Isn't that crazy?
That's wrong.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Isn't it? All right.
But did you see the performance of Neil Diamond and Barbara singing it? I think it was on that Grammy.
Was it that
I
one?
just watched it.
Oh,
I just watched it.
amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, insane.
All right, last one. 1984, Beat It, Billie Jean, or Every Breath You Take?
Billie Jean.
No, it was Every Breath You Take. I know. Anyway, the point of that silly game is just to remind you
Reminder of,
that
the greatness of the number ones
And how silly awards are.
Yeah, and how silly awards are.
And how
they're all great.
right? I have to say, I love Shadows and Light. Just a smidge more than the first one. Just a smidge.
You're a fan.
I'm a huge fan.
You're a fan.
I'm kind of like that with Alanis too. I recognize that Jagged Little Pill is the, perhaps whatever, the cultural masterpiece.
Thank you.
I love Thank You, but I love her. I love all the other, and I love Dedicated.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, seriously, like I'm one of those where it's like, yeah, I love Wilson Phillips, the first album. It's great. We all do. It's amazing. But like, I really,
the body of the.
I just like your later stuff a little bit more. And it's just, yeah.
I love it all. And every song is special. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did the industry treat you well as other artists when, say, hold on, hit number one? Did you get like congratulations from artists maybe you didn't know who just were wanting to be supportive, like, I don't know, send you flowers or congratulate you? Do you remember?
Oh God, that's hard to remember, but I do know Huey Lewis one time pulled me aside and said he'd like to fuck to our record.
Which song?
Which freaked me out.
Ew.
Freaked me out. I can imagine him having sex. I don't want to talk about that with you. Thank you. I'm glad we are your foreplay. Oh God. I know.
Huey Lewis?
Huey Lewis said he'd like to have sex. He puts on our record. Oh, Barry Gibb said that it was one of his in his top 10 for new albums. Loved our record, the first album. Barry Gibb loved it. And also, who else was there? Well, I met Luther Vandross. Oh God, my favorite male singer. He said, I have a song for you. I have a song for you to record. And it was Stop to Love. We didn't do it, but there were, oh God. One time, Sinead O'Connor, may she rest in peace, she said something really, she said she was upset that we were nominated. And she made a comment. She made a comment like, that's a joke. That's a joke that Wilson Phillips are nominated. And it got back to her that we were really hurt by that. And she wrote a note of apology. My mom has the note. Yeah. She said, I take it back. I didn't mean what I said. I shouldn't have said that.
Wow. It's interesting that she apologized.
Yeah, it is.
And
yeah.
Gosh.
I know.
That's really, wow.
I know.
Wow.
But yeah, people were very sweet. Very sweet.
That's great. Your music videos. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Well, they spent a fortune on them.
As somebody who is extremely obsessed with Los Angeles architecture, you shot at the Stahl House.
I know. It was so cool.
Was it cool? Or was it just you knew about it, or
They said this is very historic and it was all glass, but we were so tired because we shot Hold On and Release Me back to back. So it was 4 days straight of filming, and it was into the wee hours. And I remember the glam squad, they were on the floor, all piled up, sleeping on the floor. They all passed out. They couldn't even stay awake. We were really tired. So Release Me, Hold On was first in the mountains. And
where was that mountain?
That was in who the hell knows? San Gabriel Mountains, I think. And Wendy got hypothermia and had to be carried down in a stretcher.
That's terrifying.
I know. It was freezing up there. And then, and that was, I think it was Julian Temple who directed it. And there was a boom box and they played it back in chipmunk speed. So we had to sing along in chipmunk speed because it was a certain like camera process. So we were like, someday somebody's going to make it. Yeah, it's really funny. But it turned out like, it was like not slow motion, but there was a very fluid, like whatever, the way it looked. And it's the way Julian wanted to do it. So we did it. And we sat on that mountain and it was a long drive up to the top. Wendy got her fingers were turning purple and blue. And so she went down on the stretcher. and then we shot Release Me at that great house. It was black and white.
Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful video.
And Herb Ritts did the photo for Shadows and Light.
Herb Ritts filmed, yes.
Or right. Did the photo for that album. That is just one of the most beautiful photos.
I love it.
Is that above like another bathtub of yours? Or
no,
but Rolling Stone.
Actually, though, from that photo session, the other side of my bathtub has this other one that was from that session.
Amazing.
Shadows and Light, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If anyone entering the business today, came to you and said, I know it's such a loaded question, but I don't want to say you did something wrong, but advice like, don't do what we did. Is there anything like that? Or do you feel like looking back, you know what? I think we did everything we were supposed to do. I think I handled it exactly how I should have.
I mean, I hate regrets.
Yeah.
But there's no point. Like, you can't go back and change it. So I don't know. I mean, we did everything they told us to do. And we felt like puppets. I mean, they were, I don't know. I think I wish that we would have demanded like just 2 weeks off, just a little time off, just to gather. And I think that's why China left. She was just completely broken down and wanted to go solo, but she was so tired, and it was very, very hard work.
Yeah, and I'm sure that wasn't an easy decision for her, and I'm sure it wasn't easy for you to accept either.
I was very upset for many years. I couldn't believe it. Wow. I just couldn't believe that somebody could walk away from something so successful. It didn't compute in my brain.
Yeah.
And then it took me a long time of therapy and really like respecting her decisions as a person and just being like, this is what she wanted to do in her heart. And I can't, we're a group. It's not, you all have to agree.
She seems very lovely and very, very well adjusted and seems to be living a quote normal life. Looking at that now, does that make you think, you know what?
I don't think any of us are normal.
Well, I mean, you know what? Look at like the history and the life of a lot of musicians. And I'm telling you, I don't remember. I mean, listen, after Wilson Phillips, you became sort of a poster child for personality sort of celebrity, because you were so honest and open about everything.
Yeah.
But looking back, it's like you didn't have, like, you weren't being arrested. You weren't being carted out of like hotel rooms, drugged out of your mind. It's like you look at Wendy, Carnie, and China, and it's like, maybe if that's what it took to be where you are today, her walking away, maybe that saved her.
Well, a lot of therapy.
Yeah.
We've all had a lot of therapy, just I think all the lessons we learned from our parents, from trial and error, from, I mean, like we were told we were failures with Shadows and Light. Charles said, you guys failed me on the phone. We had sold 3 million records versus the 10, whatever. So he called us failures. I'll never forget it. It was heartbreaking. And then China left, and then he said, well, fuck it. We're just going to make another record. And then we did Hey Santa, Wendy and I. And that became a very successful Christmas song.
Huge.
And still played
huge.
Today.
I was going to say, is that maybe your biggest hit?
Could be.
I think it is, actually.
I swear, I think it is too.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And so I think that we're just we're evolved because of what we've been through. And it's, having children, I think really is what grounded us the most.
What do you hope today's artists have that you didn't?
There's so much competition out there. And the worst feeling is when you're comparing yourself to others and you don't feel worthy or you have something to offer. And the beauty about now is that anybody can release material. You can promote it any way you want. You don't have anyone pulling the strings or telling you what to do, or you have to honor the contract. You have to give them this many interviews or this kind of promotion or whatever it is. I mean, it's really I think the power's in the artist's hands these days. You have to do what you love. You have to do what you love, and you have to follow your gut instincts.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
And it's funny, I know that you guys broke up and came back together though. And I think in when you came back together, it just sounded like confident. And I don't want to say veterans. I mean, you were veterans, but like now every time you guys get together and release songs, I mean, Boyfriends, Hello, Loved. It's like,
well, we're more mature. I mean, it's like, think about the time that's passed and we've grown into our voices but the blend hasn't changed and the love of singing together hasn't changed. And so it's more about celebration now and like appreciation on both parts. Like we represent a very special time in people's lives, right? With the records. And they go back and they have that feeling and they remember this and that and what they went through when the songs came out. And then we sit there and go, oh my God, thank you so much for still listening. And and it's like, it's reciprocated. It really is.
Yeah.
So it's more of a celebration now, but I wish we recorded more. It's hard for me because I want so many things and I don't get them. And isn't that life?
Isn't that life?
It's life.
It is.
I want to be in the studio writing with them. I want to be recording with them. and they don't want to. And what do I do?
Wait, Wendy and China don't? Both?
No.
Really?
So what do I do? I have to go in myself, or I have to go and record with my daughter Lola. I mean, I haven't been in the studio in so long, I miss it. But yeah, it's like, I don't know why we're not doing that. It's frustrating.
I can't sing, but most people don't know this. I am a 4th honorary member of Wilson Phillips.
Why?
Because I went to a signing and met you once.
Right. I remember.
Why would you? Please tell me you. Well, you
Yes,
remember
I
the
did.
signing. Yeah, the signing. Yeah. Isn't that hilarious? Hilarious.
Oh my God.
You.
Oh, wait, that was for the Christmas album or dedicated?
I think it was dedicated. I was at Rexall Drugstore in Beverly Hills.
Oh my God, that's
And
right.
I was in an aisle and I heard this one girl say, Carnie, China. And I'm like, those are pretty unique names.
Yeah.
And for someone to say them together. And so I stopped. I went, did you just say, well, and they had stuff signed. They're like, they're across the street. I dropped I went over. I'm like, I am going to go get in this line. I'm going to buy this. And I love that album. I love that. 12:30 is one of my
I love
absolute
12:30.
favorite
Love.
songs.
So we have a symphony gig coming up. We're doing the California State Fair in Sacramento on July 13th. And then we fly to Ohio and do 2 shows back to back. And one of them is with a symphony. So we have the charts for 12:30 and it's beautiful.
So wait, so they just don't want to get in the studio, but you are still getting together for performances?
Yes. That's
Okay.
the answer to that.
Okay, so you do
It's
live?
It's
Okay.
a whole process. It's
Okay.
like China Moore wants to write the song. She wants us to be writing together and has to write the songs. And I don't know why we're not doing that together, but it's not for me to say. It's like, if it happens, it'll happen. I can't force us to do that. You can't force the creativity. You can't force when the time is right. You know, she's busy doing her own thing. Wendy's got 4 boys. I've got 2. We're all raising kids. Everyone's getting older now, but I still have a 14-year-old though.
Yeah.
You know, so hopefully it'll be in the next decade. We'll get there, but
Please.
I know, I really miss it.
And will you just please, just for me, even if it's a bonus track, will you just put a cover of a Carpenter song?
Oh,
Which would you do?
oh Jesus. That is so hard to think of.
I want to hear you do Yesterday Once More.
Oh my God, I can't even with that song.
It takes me to a place that I don't even know. Like, I feel like I was I don't know if I believe in reincarnation, but I was there. I had there's something
You
haunting.
feel very connected to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I hear that music, it stops me in my tracks and it's a visceral reaction. And I don't know whether I'm going to barf, fart, shit, or I don't even know.
Come,
Fucking, I don't even know. It just, it stops me in my tracks. And, my dad loves her. Loves her. Yeah. Oh, she was the best.
Well, they were very heavily influenced by Beach Boys.
I know.
Richard has been very open about that. Did they ever cross? Do you know if they met?
I know. I think they've met, but I grew up with the Carpenters playing in my house. I mean, I remember looking at the records, with their logo, and just being blown away. I loved Top of the World when I was young.
It's I can't sing, but I'm a big musical fan, and I think the vocal gymnastics that she does in that song are incredible. Just incredible.
I know. What a singer, and what a drummer too.
Can you get lost in music when you're really though? But or do you have that technical I know that when she that's this, or I can tell that this. You know what I mean? Like the technical parts.
It all happens at the same time. What happens is I hear it and I'm drawn to certain things about certain songs. Right? It's really never lyrics. I'm not
Interesting.
a big lyric.
Yeah.
I like lyrics, but that isn't it. It's more the melody and the vocals and the instruments. That's the music is what gets me crazy. Horns make me nuts. My favorite group of all is the B-52s.
Really?
That's my favorite group of all time.
Wow.
Yeah, they're my little songbirds, and I love Fred. They're my favorite. And then the Eagles, and
Yeah, I'm Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac.
I'm Fleetwood Mac.
Oh my
Stevie.
God. Yes.
All day, every day. That's why I love. I love that you did Wild Heart.
I know.
I love that.
I know. I love Belladonna as well.
Belladonna's
I
great.
love all her records. But I don't know. It's like I love horns.
Yeah.
So Earth, Wind, and Fire and Chicago. I'm stuck in the 70s.
Burt Bacharach.
Love Burt.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love 70s too. That's all day, every day.
I love 70s.
I do too. I love that so much.
much.
And I love that you didn't get jaded by anything being in the business. You know, sometimes people who may have had, you know, certain things happen, I don't want to hear any music anymore.
Right.
Fuck it all.
Yeah.
But you still have that musical.
I don't know. I think it's a personality thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily fame. I don't. I think an asshole's an asshole, whether you're famous or not.
I love
and
that.
if you're famous, you're probably a bigger asshole. My Uncle Carl was like, you have to be nice to people. That was really important to him. And it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice.
Did you have any aspirations to act?
I did.
Yeah?
I did, yeah. Yeah, I did a NBC miniseries.
Mother Earth.
Yeah, Mother Earth. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, I did Mother Earth. I did a few I did just a couple little music videos and like Silk Stockings, that show.
Oh, yeah.
I played a motel owner.
Oh, my God.
A horny motel owner.
Perfect.
And I got the job because I BA'd the director. I lifted up my dress.
B8. I'm trying to.
Bare ass. I lifted up my dress.
Wait, was Huey Lewis in that episode? I'm kidding.
Very funny. No, I when I auditioned, I was like, "Thank you very much," and I like lifted up my dress. He's like, I walked out, and they said, "Get back in here. You're hired." It was very funny.
Well, when I met you to get you on the show, I bare asked it, but hey, that's what we do. What we have to do.
We show our butt cheeks.
Yeah. Hey, talk show host.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
So
did you love it?
I hated it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was horrible.
What'd you hate about it?
It was the most nerve-wracking thing ever, and I loved my producers so much. I mean, Andy Lassner, who worked with Ellen for years, was the supervisor producer. But my executive producer, Kathy, heard me on Howard Stern, Kathy Chermel, and she'd worked with Sally Jesse Raphael and all these people, and she was great. But they didn't let me be me. I was very filtered because it was syndicated. It was ABC and syndicated across the nation. It was unfortunate because it was like very sensational. You know what I mean? It was like big boobies now, or no, I'm flat chested now. Look, I have big boobs. How far are you going to go with that?
Yeah.
I didn't have any chance to like break shit down and really like talk, but they wanted me to like be nice to everybody, and I couldn't be nice to the wife beaters. I just said, I actually turned on. They got out there because they had me go into the rooms to meet all the guests before the show, and I had to say to the wives, so why are you here today? You're going to tell your husbands, that you're not going to take it anymore. We're going to tell them you're going to leave them, right? Like I was on their side. Then they wanted me to go to the wife beaters and say, so you like to slap them around a little bit, huh? They piss you off, huh? Like they wanted me to like rev them up. I couldn't do it. And so when the time came for the interviews, I said, you're a piece of shit, right? And they got so pissed at me because I actually said, you're a piece of shit.
Good for you.
I couldn't take it. So I got in trouble for that and whatever. But it didn't last long. I mean, I taped 155 shows. And
that's a ton.
It's a ton of shows. But, and I filmed at the Montel Studios in New York. I lived in Connecticut, and it was my ex-fiance at the time. We were going to get married, and then that ended and moved back to California, and then we broke up. It wasn't a great breakup. We were druggy, drinkers together. So I'm glad we separated. And now he's passed away.
Oh.
He couldn't get sober. Yeah, he couldn't get sober, but we made amends, and that was good. And then, I hit like a real rock bottom, and I met my husband at my lowest rock bottom point.
What do you think he saw in you that said, hey?
Yeah. I don't know. I was on stage. He came to the show, and it was in Pennsylvania, and I was like 310 pounds. I wore these little butterfly clips in my hair, and I put perfume on that day, and I had this funny feeling that I was putting on perfume for somebody, and I didn't know why. So I put like extra perfume on. And then I met Rob backstage in the food tent. We were eating, and his friend was interviewing the Beach Boy that I was singing with, Al Jardine. And so we went to dinner after, and I was telling everybody, I have a crush on that guy. He's really cute. He was so hot. And then we met through the message boards before any, cell phones, before anything. And there was a message to Carnie from Rob Bonfilio. And I'm like, Bonfilio, what a great name. Oh, that's the guy that I had a crush on. And he was like, I loved your perfume and your butterfly clips in your hair. And I'm like, are you single? And that was it. So I put perfume on for him apparently that day. You're so cute.
You're so cute.
So
this
sweet.
is so much fun. I could just. I wish we could host a talk show together. How fun would that be?
I
Who
would.
who would your dream guest be?
Oh, Adele.
Nice.
I love her.
Yeah.
I just love everything about her. Oh God, Annie Lennox.
I saw her for most of the other night. She walked in, every head turned, and it was like being in the presence of a queen.
Oh yeah. When I met her, I cried hysterically, and she handed me a box of Kleenex. We were at the View. She's like, "Here, you're gonna need this." Her eyes are so beautiful.
It's just an amazing. What a beautiful, beautiful woman. Do you still get starstruck?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. One time I was driving down Beverly Boulevard and I saw Seal, because I love Seal. And I was like, I know that Seal. I could tell. I know that fucking face, that head, that body. And so I stopped my car right on Beverly Boulevard. I rolled my window down and I'm like, excuse me, are you Seal? And he goes, why, yes, I am. And I said, hi, I'm Carnie Wilson. I'm a singer. And he goes, oh, it's nice to meet you. And I said, I have one thing to say to you. Your music is inside of my soul. And I went, what? And he goes, why, thank you. And I said, okay, I gotta go. I'm gonna start crying now, so I gotta go. I didn't know what else to say.
I love that.
And Madonna, I could barely stand up.
I need the story.
That was.
You think I'm gonna let that pass?
Remember that video she did when it was like futuristic and it was all white? It was like this real modern.
Oh, yeah.
Really interesting. I don't even remember the song, but they said, Madonna's on the same stage. I was filming something. Do you want to meet her? And I was like, oh shit, here we go. I don't know what I was going to say. I was so terrified. I was nauseous. So went to the set. She was so tiny. She was like 5 feet or 5'1", really small and kind of snooty, a little bit snooty. And I was like, was she snooty or was it my imagination? And I had told someone, I feel like she didn't like me. Like she didn't want to like meet me or anything. I feel like I was interrupting her or something. And then somebody told me that she was nervous to meet me. Okay. And I am not bragging about that because I'm the last person to brag.
You should.
Like, what the fuck? So what the fuck? So maybe, that's why you can't judge a book by its cover because you just don't know what people are thinking.
That's so true. I worked with Shannon Doherty, who was so kind and so nice to everyone on set. And she came out of her trailer one day and it was like really hot. And she just made a joke. She was like, oh, what? We couldn't book the sun? Which was funny. It was just a joke. It was hot. And these two girls who were walking by her go, gosh, wow, she really is a bitch. And I thought they're going to go home, tell their friends. I'm like, you missed the... No. She's so nice. And it was a joke. And you just never know, like you said. You just never know. Well, let's talk about your new show. Yeah. Because I think you've combined to what I see from you, your biggest loves.
Yes.
Cooking and music.
And music, yeah.
How did it come about?
Well, I was working for Access TV doing a show called Top 10 Revealed. It's their biggest show. Really fun show. And so for about 2 years I was there and Katie, the host, pulls me aside and goes, well, I just moved up. I got VP of programming. And I saw you on Instagram making your mac and cheese. Oh. And I knew that you had to have a cooking show. So during COVID, I started doing these cooking lives and on Instagram. And I thought, somebody's going to see this one day. Because I've been pitching shows for a long time. Many, many meetings with the Food Network, the Food Channel, all these different networks and production companies and twisting it, competition shows, Stand and Stir, all the fucking stuff. And when she said, I have a great idea, it's music and it's food and you're perfect. And I said, when are we starting? And I was working with Al Roker's company to like do a show, but the contract just ended. He did not sell it, unfortunately. And I love Al. It just wasn't meant to be. And I was meant to be with Access TV. They are the perfect place for me. It's a music channel, but it was like, I have so many friends over the years that I love, mostly music people, singers, musicians. And I was like, let's get everybody on the show. So we started reaching out. The list is enormous. So there were a lot of people that couldn't make it because of their schedules, like a Paul McCartney and Elton John. I know, I can't even talk about it. And Paul is vegan and his daughter's vegan. He's vegetarian. So I had this cookie I was going to make. It's this cherry almond vegan cookie that's killer. So that's what I'm going to do with them. But I know that I'll get those guests eventually, but we have a great first batch of guests. And I was like, you're going to come on. And I always make sure they like what we're going to make. And we sing, we laugh, we cook. And finally, I can just be totally myself.
I've watched, I mean, you sent me a couple of those episodes and it seems like you're yourself. It just seems like you're having the time of your life. It seems so natural. I almost, watching it, I thought, is this unedited or is this, no, this is just natural. And
Natural.
I love that. Well,
fun.
wait, speaking of Paul McCartney, didn't you worked with him? I think, didn't you do backup on the song he did with Rihanna? And,
Yes, we did. Kanye asked us to sing on Rihanna's record.
yeah.
We thought we were being punked. We didn't believe it. And then we weren't. We really did go. And then I guess Rihanna didn't like it. We wound up on one word in the bridge. But listen, I can't even say it. I'll tell you off the record.
Ooh.
I did something a little scandalous.
And I get to know.
You get to know.
Sorry, everyone. Subscribe to my OnlyFans and I'll tell you.
It's very cool. I did something. So I kind of know how we sounded. Like
Okay.
I kind of kept something that I wasn't supposed to, but I did.
I love it.
I'll never release it, but I have something. Anyway, yeah, we wound up on one word and it was 4 or 5 seconds. And I guess Paul plays bass and does these funny little vocal things. And it was a great record. And Rihanna's an amazing singer. But I don't think she disliked our sound with her. I thought we sounded great.
You always do.
Thank you.
No, you do. It's not an opinion. It's a fact.
Yeah. So the show is really like my dream come true. I waited for 2 decades to do it.
Dream guest, if you could have anyone, who would it be?
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
I know.
Oh,
Sorry.
Lord.
I know.
I would love Stevie Nicks to come.
Listen. If that happens,
you're gonna be there. I'll invite you.
I will be. I'll clean your shoes. I'll whatever.
You'll do the dishes.
I would do the dishes.
You'll be there. Stevie Nicks, Adele, Billie Eilish. Barbara Streisand loves food a lot, and I would.
What would you cook with her?
First of all, I would need a barf bucket. I would need a bucket to barf in because I don't know if I could even deal with it.
Wait, favorite Barbara song?
Oh,
sorry, I know. No. I love like the VGs. I love Guilty. Woman in Love. Guilty. Woman in Love's my favorite.
I can't. Okay, but wait a minute. My favorite, you know what? My favorite Barbara Streisand song, it's going to be, I love Woman in the Moon.
Ooh.
From Woman in the Moon and from the Stars Born soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that song.
I love it. Wait, what would you cook with her?
I don't know. I feel like I'd have to tap into like maybe some brisket.
Yeah. Oh, you got
really good brisket. Okay. Or like just make like my matzo ball soup. You know, something really comforting. Something a little Jewish.
Okay.
You know, I think she would love that.
Yeah. If you what's your go-to? What do you like your favorite thing to cook?
It's usually like a comfort dish, like something with pasta. You know, it's either mac and cheese or meatloaf or a casserole.
Food, not desserts and
no desserts for sure. Yeah. Oh, that's a given. That's pound cakes and cheesecakes and bread puddings and cookies. I mean, bars. I mean, desserts. That's my thing. But
can you seriously? Be honest here. Yeah. Not that you haven't been honest this whole time, but if you just said you walked into Gelson's down the street, who came up to you? Who recognized you?
It was too quick though.
Really?
No.
Can you go into a grocery store without somebody saying something to you?
They stare and stuff.
Yeah.
Someone the other day I went to Ralph's and some man followed us around, my daughter and I around the whole store. And then when we came out, he came running up to me in the parking lot and it scared me.
Yeah.
Because he came running up and he came running up real fast. So, it's not, I'm humble.
I know you are. It's like that, the thing about you is you are just so, everyone gravitates towards you because of your personality.
I love people.
You know this. I mean, you know this. You spent your whole life with this. I can just tell. Like I know that about you. And they love you. And you've been an inspiration to probably when you don't want to be a fucking inspiration to people. You have been an inspiration to people.
I'll always want to be.
Your entire career. And it has not stopped.
Yeah.
It's just, it's amazing,
I share what I go through, and I think that's really important. There's a little platform, you're able to do stuff like this. You're able to, if you can touch one person, you know what I mean? Inspire them in some way. I can't think of anything better. It's the opposite of being selfish. Thinking about other people. It's a big lesson for people in life.
And when they can fuck to your music.
With Huey Lewis.
I'll never be.
I keep doing that horn.
I need to know. Well, here's the worst thing about this. I am going to run into him. in the next year. Mark my words. I'm going to go up to him and be like, I have to ask you a question. Which song do you fuck to, though? That's the one that, like, is he getting off to, like, You're in Love?
You're in Love?
Someday I'll be next to you?
Reason to Believe, maybe.
Don't ruin Karen Carpenter.
I know. That was the weirdest thing ever. I can't.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
I love him, though.
Well, I am so sad that I've kept you longer than I told you I was going to.
Why are you sad?
Because I am just, I hate to.
You
Oh, you're the sweetest. I love it. Well, listen, I end my show with something so easy. You don't even have to like overthink this, okay? It's just either or.
Okay.
Okay?
Either or.
You pick what you prefer.
Okay.
Barbie or Oppenheimer?
I didn't see either.
Betty Davis or Joan Crawford?
Joan Crawford.
Thank you. Benihana or the Cheesecake Factory?
Cheesecake Factory.
Bob Eubanks or Bob Barker?
Oh, Bob Barker.
Cupcakes or cookies?
Cupcakes. Love that fucking frosting.
Chrissy or Janet?
Wait. Oh, Chrissy Hines? Wait, who? Wait, what?
Three's Company. Chrissy or Janet?
Oh. Chrissy or Janet? Oh, Chrissy.
Well, what about Chrissy Hind or Janet Jackson now?
Oh, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, well, I love Janet, but I'm going to go with Chrissy. I can't help it.
Vogue or Vanity Fair?
Vogue.
Pulp Fiction or Kill Bill?
Pulp Fiction.
Takeoff or Landing?
Take off.
Catherine or Audrey Hepburn?
Ooh. Audrey.
Careless Whisper or Freedom?
That's not fair.
Sophie's Choice.
That's not fair. I love George Michael so much.
So much.
That it's dumb. I'm gonna say Freedom.
John Stamos.
Sorry, that's not okay.
John Stamos on General Hospital or John Stamos from Full House?
A Full House. That's Uncle Jesse for me.
Red Vines or Twizzlers?
Red Vines or Twizzlers? Oh, Red Vines.
Reading from a book or reading from a tablet?
Book.
Wallpaper or paint?
That's hard. A powder room, wallpaper, room paint.
Madonna ballads or Madonna's pop music?
Oh, God. Ballads.
Yeah, I am too. Iced tea or hot tea?
Hot tea.
Jack in the Box or In-N-Out?
In and out.
Matt,
The Monster Tacos can fuck off. I love it so much. Sorry.
The Masked Singer or Dancing with the Stars?
Best singer.
You were on it.
Dance was, I can't.
Would you go on Dancing with the Stars if they called?
I tried to, but my hernia popped up during an audition. I was like, I can't do this. I couldn't even I can't.
See, we didn't even talk that much about Masked Singer. Oh my gosh, so much I could talk to you about. Jacqueline Smith or Cheryl Ladd?
Jacqueline Smith.
Breakfast Club or St. Elmo's Fire?
Breakfast Club.
Yes. Grease or Hairspray, the musical?
Grease, hands down.
Air Supply or Chicago?
Chicago.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say Air Supply.
No,
So I
Chicago.
had Making Love Out of Nothing at All or Lost in Love.
Oh, God, Lost in Love, but and I love them. But they're mad at us right now because we just did a show together and we took too long we were on stage for too long.
You just did a show with Air Supply?
Yeah, we did, and they kicked us off. We were. I'm really sorry.
Well, why am I missing your shows? How am I missing the symphony? How am I missing you and Air
It's very
Supply?
sporadic. We did one show the whole last year. One show.
You have my number now. Text me.
I will.
God.
You have to go.
I'm going to go. Bacon or sausage?
Bacon.
Scruffy men or shaved men? Well, how about this? Scruffy husband or shaved husband?
I like Scruffy.
Laverne and Shirley or Kate and Allie?
Laverne and Shirley.
Mashed potatoes or baked potato?
Is that a question?
Dean Martin or Sammy Davis Jr.?
Dean.
Last but not least, LA sunrise or LA sunset?
Sunset.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love that.
I like a sunrise, but a sunset just blows my mind.
I love that.
Especially when it's really a beautiful one. Yeah.
Well, where can everyone watch your show? I don't even think I said that.
Oh, Access, AXS TV.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like Spectrum is $2.99, DirecTV is $3.40, and then I think Sling has it, maybe YouTube. We're working on that. But Access TV is good old fashioned cable.
I can't wait to see it.
Yay.
Well, my goal in life is to get famous enough to come on it. So, or just bake with you in general one day.
Bake. You'd be a great guest. I'm putting you in the front row for the next Wilson Phillips show. You have to be in the front row. I have to, and China doesn't really like to sing "Reason to Believe," but I will make her do it that night, and we'll dedicate it to you. Yeah,
I will hold you to that. I'm gonna cry. I really am gonna cry. I cannot thank you enough for coming here today. And
I loved it. I love the games. I loved it all.
I love it, and I'm so ready to be at that concert.
Good.
Thank you for listening. And as a reminder, all my interviews are available to watch on YouTube. So check it out and see just how excited Carnie got when she found out she was now a Funko Pop. I had this made for you. It's so silly, but I don't know if you even know what these are, but it's a Funko Pop.
No, you did not.
And this is you.
God,
yeah.
The first I've ever. My kids are gonna freak out. Come on, that you did that. No, I can't.
It's holding a microphone for this interview, and then like a.
Oh, and there's an apron. Is she wearing an apron?
She's a cook. She's a baker.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course.
This is the best.
You're a doll now.
Holy shit.
A real doll, a metaphorical doll. You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Oh my God. My kids are going to freak out.
I love that.
I can't believe. Did you actually have that made?
I did.